So, welcome to Seeds of Change. This is Christy. Today we're discussing, excuse me, behavioral change and some strategies for lasting transformation. So, before we get started, it took me a hot minute to put this presentation together for you because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to say, how deep into this I wanted to get, uh, how I wanted to present this. In addition to being a fitness instructor, I have my life coaching certification, and have gone through some trauma-informed life coaching. So I've been working with people when I took the last 3 years off before coming back to teaching. Um, in working with people, I did energy coaching and helped people understand where they were stuck, identify kind of where their trauma was, where they were stuck within their body. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to pull some of that into this, but still stay fitness focused. So let's see how that melting does here. So, what is behavioral change? So, behavioral change is the process of modifying actions, habits, or attitudes to help improve my health, productivity, and well being. Pretty straightforward, I think we can agree. So, why do most people struggle with change? Um, Resistance to uncertainty and discomfort. This is a huge one. Each of us, and I'll speak for myself, I know what sugar does to my body. I know that when I eat sugar, my joints feel inflamed. I know that when I eat sugar, it upsets my digestive system. My stomach is upset. I know how my body reacts to sugar. I know that I gain weight. I know that I personally start to lose muscle. I lose motivation. I get in my head discouraged and critical because I allowed myself to have sugar when I made a commitment not to. So that discomfort of knowing that I should do something, but yet this decision, I may have to say no to going out to dinner, or I may have to choose to go work out instead of just hanging out with my friends for an extra hour. So, number two, habitual behaviors and automatic responses. So, again, we have these behaviors that have just become part of our natural reaction to things, our natural response to things. And so, learning to change those go-to behaviors can be very, very challenging, like pushing a rock up a hill is in this picture. And then also lack of motivation or clear goals. When we don't identify, when we are not able to say what the target is, it's really challenging to move forward in a direction with no target. How do you know where you're going? How do you know which direction to be heading if there's no target there? So I love this quote by Socrates. It says, "The secret of change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new." And so that's actually what I wanted to chat about. So, building on that concept of not fighting the old, but building the new, what is it that you're trying to build? Are you trying to build a better overall health for yourself? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to build weight loss? What is it that you are trying to build? And let's take that a step further. If you could start from scratch, what would your wellness journey look like? What would it feel like? What would you be most proud of yourself for achieving? So, what I have found in coaching folks one-on-one is it's very important when we have goals, when we have something that we're moving towards, when we can start to identify exactly what that looks like, but also tap into what will that feel like. So, humor me on this, okay? For just a moment, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to visualize that what you are wanting, what you are building is built. So let's take, for example, you are building weight loss. So let's say you have 10 pounds that you are wanting to lose. And so I'd like for you to imagine yourself with this weight loss that you've built. You've built a weight loss program of 10 pounds that you have successfully lost. What do you not only look like, but what emotions is that bringing up for you? What do you feel when you imagine that? That's what I would like for you to focus on. So, the questions that I want to ask then to help you build this are, what are three benefits from the new you are building? So, bringing this back to the behavioral change, we're not focused on stopping the old as much as we are on building the new, right? Let's come back to that quote. Let me scroll back. We're not fighting the old, we're building the new. We're acknowledging that those old habits, those old patterns are there. They're going to take some time to overcome, right? But what are we building now? What are the three benefits from the new that we are building? What is your long-term goal with the new that you are building? And again, be as specific as possible. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are three obstacles that might keep you from the new that you are building? Again, we're not fighting the old. We're focusing on building the new. And what are three strategies you will use to overcome these obstacles as you are building the new? So as those old habits, those old patterns that we're naturally going to fight as we are building the new, but that's not the focus, right? Our primary movement is focusing on the new. Our secondary movement is eliminating and overcoming those old patterns and behaviors that are keeping us from progress. And then last but certainly not least, are you able to identify the support and the resources around you? Now, here's what I wanted to pull in that's a little bit different, probably from what you were expecting. Survival patterns. So back in 2020, I went through back in 2019, let me back way up. Back in 2019, I read a book called Claim Your Power. It's a 40-day journey. And every day is just a quick little snippet, 5 to 10 minutes. Um, and what the book was life-changing for me. So I decided it was so beneficial. The book was so beneficial that after 6 months, I read it again because I wanted to use it as a measuring stick for how much progress I had had. So the book is, again, it's called Claim Your Power. It's by Mastin Kipp. The reason 2020 popped in is because I actually coached during 2020. That whole year, I was in coaching programs with him. But one of the things that he presents is survival patterns. So these are things that we do to get in our own way. These are the old patterns, the old behaviors that we're fighting, right? So there's a few more, but these are the ones I wanted to focus on. Putting yourself last. We put everybody else first. I need to take care of this person. I need to take care of that. And we put our own needs and desires last. Trying to control other people. Perfectionism. That's a huge one for me. If it's not perfect, I don't want to bother with it. Playing small. The goal is too big, and so therefore I'm going to tone down so that it's more obtainable, right? Always assuming the worst, even if, right? Even if I move forward, even if I reach this goal, even if it's still not going. And so we assume the worst. Addiction, food addiction, alcohol addiction, sugar addiction, right? There's so many addictions that can have a very heavy impact on our life without us even realizing it. Procrastination, that's a big one for me as well. I'm sure you have already figured that out by now, though. And then confusion, constantly, I don't know. I don't know what to do next. I don't know the step to take. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I think a lot of times we actually do. But again, look at any of these others above, and if you're constantly saying, I don't know, or confused about things, it's very possible that it's hand in hand with one of these others. And then last but certainly not least, distraction. And I could list out a million ways that we distract ourselves, right? So, my challenge to you is this. As you are building the new you, so January is the new you, new year, new you, right? Is what everybody uses in January. And the statistics say that by mid-January, most people have fallen off of the New Year resolution bandwagon. One of the things that I have started doing within my own life is using winter to finish kind of hibernating. So my new year, new you will start with the spring when everything is blossoming and energy is naturally rising. But as you are defining what you are building, I'd like for you to really consider, take an honest look at some of these survival patterns. And are there any that you can say, yeah, I definitely do that. And that gets in the way of me building the new. I feel like I'm constantly fighting the old and I want to start building the new. So as you look at this list, please feel free to email me if you have any questions about these survival patterns that you like, Christy. Yes, I definitely identify some of these survival patterns in my life. And these are survival patterns that keep us, again, because change is uncomfortable, right? And so our nervous system, our body tries to keep us safe and where we're at. So if you have questions about these survival patterns, please send me an email, reach out, let's chat about this. I'd love to be able to help you kind of guide you towards your new you. We've done that already with the discrepancy worksheets. You've kind of defined what you want, but just use this behavioral change presentation as a tool to understand that maybe this goes a little bit deeper sometimes than just saying, I want to change this. It's not always as simple as just saying, I want to change it. It should be, right? But we have these survival patterns in our body that keep us from um, moving forward and building the new. So my question to you is, what small step are you willing and able to take today as you begin to build the new you?